Is that how it goes?
This is why the first one's always weird, right? So today we're going to be answering a question from one of our top fans on our Facebook group, and this is our buddy Dan. He asks, if you could choose one series, Final Fantasy, Metal Gear, NHL, Madden, etc., and you were on a deserted island, what series would that be? He says that his would be Gran Turismo.
Yeah, which makes sense. He has told me that he has spent like thousands of hours playing Gran Turismo games, which I get because
he loves it. Yeah,
at the beginning you have to grind to get your licenses and like build up your money to get a good car. So I remember playing Gran Turismo 2 back in the day, and I had like this crappy used CRX you could buy at the beginning, and just winning race after race to save up for like a better car.
Yeah.
And then I stopped playing it after putting like 30 hours into it. I got nowhere. So I could see you could put like 1,000 hours into one of those easily.
You gotta get Dan into it again.
Because I'm assuming deserted island, it's because you're stuck there, so you need something replayable.
That's right. Like, what are you gonna do on an island? I mean, you can't swim all day.
Exactly. So you can try.
So here, what's one? You have two games, so we both did kind of two.
Yeah.
So, and it's a series. It's not a game.
Yeah.
So what's one of your series?
So like I kind of went two ways with this. So I went Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest because they're RPGs.
I thought you were going to choose Lollipop Chainsaw.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and then like the series of Lollipop
Chainsaw. The expanded Lollipop universe.
The definitive edition. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
All the special editions, yeah. No, so Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, because I'm counting spin-offs. So there are so many Final Fantasy spin-offs and so many Dragon Quest spin-offs. If push came to shove, I'd probably take Final Fantasy just because there's more content there, although I kind of like them equally.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could play Final Fantasy games forever and then get to all the spin-off games I've never played. I could actually play FF7 Remake and the sequel. And since it's going to take them like 10 years to finish the remake, like maybe I could get them drop shipped to the island so that I can finich playing them.
Amazon delivers. It's okay.
Exactly, but I'm stuck there. So I get all the future games too.
Okay.
That's a good caveat.
That's good. And it's a question for you. So for the Final Fantasy games, have they all been released in English, or are there still fan translations of some games?
I'm gonna say like 99% of them I could get in English.
Yeah,
but yeah, if I can, I'll take the Japanese ones. I'll learn Japanese on the island.
You learn Japanese.
There you go.
What else? Yeah, there you go.
Like no problem.
What language would you learn if you're on an island?
Definitely Japanese, so I can play all the video games that
honestly
don't come out here.
Totally. Okay, so you said Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, but probably leaning towards Final Fantasy.
Yeah. So you do a pick.
Okay, so I'm going with Metroid. And basically, like the Metroid series. So, obviously, kind of like sticking with the Super Metroid genre. I still haven't played Dread, and I don't know. I love the Metroid games. Fusion was great. I haven't played Prime.
Yeah. So the first person one. So you could get into a whole.
I haven't done those,
Metroid
and I
game.
think it'd be fun to get into those, knowing it's a like a Metroid type game. But I love the Metroid. Series and those games.
Yeah.
Even the first one, if I played the first one without a map, which there really isn't a map, it's just like
you could make your own map. That would take forever.
I could make my own map like I did when I was a kid. So I would choose the Metro series. Those are games you can really get into, and then I think just trying to 100% them would be really challenging.
Well, the other cool thing too is they have for Super Metroid, like on emulator, they have like it's called like a randomizer. So it's like the same map, but they put all the stuff in different places, I think, or the map changes slightly.
Yeah.
They do that for Link to the Past too. So you basically just like it's like you roll a dice when you boot the game up, and it's different every time. So
do that too.
You could do that just with Super Metroid.
Cool.
So that'd be pretty awesome.
What's another one of yours? If you were to choose one.
So then the other ones I picked were like Zelda, but specifically for me, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Because I actually really like Breath of the Wild. I started it when it came out, put about 50 hours into it, maybe unlocked like a quarter of the map and found like maybe 10% of the stuff. Then just got interested in other things. Then last year, I actually started playing it again. And then I got COVID. So I was locked in this very room away from my family for a week and just played Breath of the Wild straight. And I've not touched it since.
While you were short on breath.
And while I was on death's door. No, the funny thing is I was fine, but still testing positive. So I had to stay in this room to not give it to my family. And I couldn't go to work. So I just played Breath of the Wild. So nice. I got further than last time. But now I've kind of stopped playing it. And I feel like it's been long enough where I'd have to start from the beginning again if I had to do it again. So if I was stuck on an island, I'd play through that game, 100% it, and then play through Tears of the Kingdom. Because I've heard that's good too. And speaking of Dan, him and Mel have put like thousands of hours into Breath of the Wild
Yeah, Mel
to get
loves
everything.
her
So
Zelda.
So yeah, I feel like Dan would bring Gran Turismo and Mel would be beside him playing Zelda.
Yes,
So
I think you could say that for sure.
yeah, so that would keep me busy.
Plus, isn't there a way like with Breath of the Wild that you can like finish the game theoretically within like an hour or two? Like
Yeah,
you don't have to do all the quests.
If you know what you're doing
if you get like
and you're
so
really
good at
skilled,
it,
yeah,
yeah,
you can just go right to the end and try and beat it.
So that would happen eventually.
Yeah,
yeah.
So I could
while you're learning Japanese,
I could be a speedrunner.
You could become a speedrunner.
Exactly.
Speed Joe.
There we go.
Joe
Speed
the
demon.
Speedrunner. Joe the speed. That's a great idea. I have here like we have our notes here, and I put Zelda as well because I still haven't played either of the Switch games. I would love to play. Probably I would start with Breath of the Wild and then go from there. The last sort of like open world Zelda game I played was Ocarina of Time, which I really did enjoy. I think I enjoyed it. I got half. I know it's a Nintendo 64 game, Joe.
Yeah.
And I played it on a Nintendo 64. We're not talking about the 3DS port or remake.
Yeah, maybe
whatever.
try it on that. I tried it on that and I kind of lost interest.
I enjoyed it, but like I don't play a lot of games in that genre, so for me it was really enjoyable.
Yeah.
But I only got halfway through to where like the village, like the people were like zombie people, and like sometimes you play a game for a long like tens of hours, and then you're like, I got nothing in me here. I can't keep going.
Yeah, so, you're like I've had my fill.
I've had my fill.
Yeah.
But I feel like that would be a good game to get into to explore. So I like if I had to choose two, though, like I would do the Metroid series because they're a little more contained, which I do like, even though there is the exploration.
Yeah,
it's like they kind of like direct you in weird ways, and then I'd do Zelda. So those would be my two.
Okay.
So
you and I are playing Zelda together.
We're playing Zelda. I don't. Are we on the same island? Like that'd be interesting too. Because if we're on the same island,
then I could play Metroid. We could trade.
Then I should choose different games than for Zelda. So
that is true.
Yeah.
And you're not going to want to trade me for Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest.
You know what? I would if I was on an island, I would learn Final Fantasy. Yeah. I would learn how to play those games.
There you go.
Yeah, you could teach me that. But and you actually you said we already know that Dave is going to pick Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, that too. Yeah.
And I thought about that because like what an in-depth series that is.
Well,
right?
There's Sonic Frontiers, I think, which is like open world.
Beautiful.
Apparently, it sucks though, but.
Hey, you heard it from the horse's mouth. Apparently, a Sonic.
Well, it's
game
like a
sucks.
3D one. The 3D ones aren't.
I would just play Sonic
Spin.
I'd play Sonic Spinball all day. That's what I would do, right? Just get really good at my spinball abilities.
Nice.
So cool. Thanks for the question, Dan. And let us know if you were deserted on an island with electricity, what game series would you choose?
With electricity, but you can't call home to come get you.
That's right. Yeah. All right, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
What's going on, everyone? These are the bloopers. All right, so what's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about. No, it's a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Dan asks. Go to my Google Drive. I strive for my Google Drive.